You made 9 changes on Saturday, still had a strong starting lineup. What does that say about the depth in your squad?
I have at the moment 22 players who are really fit, available for selection, and so I have a good choice to make and have to make the right selection for every single game.
Finally, from me, it's Southampton tomorrow. What are your early thoughts ahead of that game?
Look, they gave us a rough time as well at Southampton, and we have an opportunity at home to put that right. It's a very important period in the season now because it goes into big games, 15 games to go. Every game now becomes really important, and we come out of a bad result in the Premier League against Chelsea, and we want to take advantage from the fact that we play at home.
Arsene, hello. What sort of transfer deadline day are you anticipating here?
Look, the whole period was much quieter than I expected. I thought it would be much more activity, but finally it has been very quiet, and the fact that we are all here means it is still quiet.
The fact that you're getting players back from injury, has that been an influence in terms of you deciding not to do any business?
Look, I've done.
More business.
I'm one of the few who has done.
Mm-hmm.
More. I never thought would do much more, but I told you we'll do at least one transfer if possible. I would have been open to one more, but there's a rarity on the market of players, and it's very difficult to conclude anything at the moment.
Might one or two players yet go out on loan? I'm thinking of Debuchy, for example.
Debuchy is still a possibility, yes. At the moment, doesn't look like, but it's still a possibility.
Okay. There have been some reports that maybe Jack Wilshere suffered a setback in training. Is there anything you can say about that?
No, that's the wrong information.
Is it?
Yes.
So, in terms of...
No, he's quite looking good,
Yeah.
I must say. And overall, I had a short chat with Roy Hodgson about him and reassured him that he's progressing well.
So, in terms of seeing him back in the first team, what can you put any kind of rough date on it?
I'm a bit cautious, I would say, for 4 weeks.
John Terry announced yesterday that he's leaving Chelsea at the end of the season. I just wondered sort of how difficult the balance can be sometimes with a long-serving player who's given everything in a club, knowing that they've got to move things on eventually.
Yes, that's the problem. The problem of our job for the players is that it stops very early in your life, and that you lose that passion very early in your life, and you know how to refocus on something, how to be as good in anything else is nearly impossible. So that's not easy to deal. I'm confronted with many generations of players who, after their career, have that problem.
I mean, you have Theo, who's done 10 years, but obviously John Terry, at least 15. Mm-hmm. It is a difficult thing to sort of know when to move on, though, isn't it, from a club's point of view?
It is a difficult thing.
Works two ways, doesn't it?
The loyalty works two ways, but I think I always consider that I'm paid for my commitment to the club, and well paid, and once it is over, the club owes me nothing, you know, and that I have to get on with my life and find another way, and do not expect a reward because it's part of a contract.
You were talking just now about the next few weeks going to be important in the title race into the last 15 games, etc. In fact, the next couple of weeks could be quite pivotal, couldn't it? Because Leicester play Manchester City the weekend, and in a couple of weeks you're playing Leicester as well. Do you think we might see...
There can be pivotal, not decisive, you know, but of course they will give a clear indication of the strengths in presence and the teams who can cope with the importance of the game. I agree with you.
Do you think we'll be saying this all the way through now till the end of the season, waiting for someone to make a decisive break?
that's always what's happening, you know. So, at the end of the day, somebody will win it, you know. So, of course, the team who will win it has to go through the important games with strong performances.
Just one last one for me. Rosicky, has he picked up an injury? Is that right?
Yes.
What exactly is happening?
It's a thigh problem. How deep the problem is, we don't know yet, because he has a scan today, and we'll know much more about it tonight, I think.
Arsene, would you be interested in signing John Terry?
No, because he's at the end of his career, and they just don't know his career at Chelsea. And if he wants to play longer, I'm sure he will play for Chelsea.
And in terms of the transfer deadline today, are you 100% sure that you're not going to be making any big signings at 1 minute to 12 tonight?
100% is difficult to say. 99 years, you live always. A miracle can happen. Somebody can knock at your door, and if Messi knocks at my door at 10 to 6 tonight, I will not say, please go back to Barcelona.
As far as the game against Southampton is concerned, having been hammered by them on Boxing Day just a month or so ago, what do you actually say to your players who have obviously been involved in that to try and, what is your message before the game?
Well,
over that?
the message is that we play at home, and we want to put things right and put a strong performance in, because the strengths we show at home now in the remaining games can be decisive. All right, thank you.
What happened in that game against Southampton? Because it seems such a anomaly for them and you.
I believe that they were dominating the challenges in the duels, and we just came out of a very tough game against City. Had not maybe the urgency to cope with that. We're a bit unlucky with 3 goals on the decisions of the referee as well, because the first one was offside, the second was a foul on Koscielny, and the third was not a corner but a goal kick. But we do not have to look that for an excuse. We have to look at ourselves, and our performance on the day was not good enough.
And in terms then on building on that, but also the defeat against Chelsea, how much does that play into how you hope your players respond?
Well, defeat against Chelsea, I think, is very unlucky, because our performance was right. It was not a Southampton performance, you know. It was our performance, our energy level, our commitment, and the quality of what we did was very good. It's rather an encouragement. Sometimes you have to raise a little bit above the result, and keep the positives, and in that game was a lot of positives.
Arsene, what do you make of Elneny first start performance, and do you think he will have a chance in the Premier League to start or play?
I believe that his first performance was very good in many aspects. He had plenty of balls, plenty of passing. He made 84 passes. A lot of 95% was top. His movement was good. He has a high work rate. He has to adapt to the toughness of the challenges, and certainly gain a little bit in confidence to be more incisive in his passing. But overall, I think for a first performance, it was encouraging.
Arsene, you're a professor of the game. Cast your eye over John Terry's career. Why has he enjoyed so much longevity, and can you admire him as a player? You know, he plays in blue.
I believe he was not only a great player, certainly still is, but he was a great coach on the pitch as well. And I remember I've seen him here once at London Colney playing with the under-21, and the way he coached the team as a player was absolutely marvelous, you know, and he was a real leader, and he had a great career as well, let's not forget that. And that's never a coincidence. And the guys who last such a long time, they have something special, you know. And he was as well the symbol of a cohesion inside Chelsea's club, because him, Lampard, Drogba, Cech, for long periods, were the players who carried the values. And when you lose players like that, you're always in danger.
You see a coaching career in his future then?
Sorry?
You can see a coaching career in his future?
I see a coaching career in his future, yes, certainly. He will remain in football, certainly, I'm sure.
Arsene, just to clarify on Debuchy, it won't be a permanent move if anything happens, it will be a loan, will it?
Yeah, now it's impossible to conclude a permanent move now.
And is he likely to stay in the Premier League as it stands? If he goes
Yes, yes.
Okay. February's been a month in previous years when sometimes the team struggled a little bit. Do you know why that is? Have you sort of investigated that at all?
Look, I don't feel that recently we have really struggled because we had 2 difficult away games with Stoke and Liverpool where we didn't lose. We had a bad result against Chelsea, and of course if you put the 3 results together, it looks struggling, but overall I think the Chelsea result is a bit exception under special circumstances. On Saturday we had quite a good performance. So let's see, but you go always through periods, unfortunately, where the results are not as good as you would expect.
How much of a challenge is February though? Because the Champions League obviously starts again. We've got the FA Cup.
It's a big month for us, and I'm quite confident, having everybody available, that we can do very well. What is important now is for us to focus, to be capable to focus, cope with that kind of expectation level. But if you take the history of our season, you know, we started with a defeat against West Ham. And the way we responded and where we are today shows that this team has the capability always to respond under pressure. And I'm sure that we will show that in February.
Just ask finally about Serge Gnabry. Is he likely to go out?
Yeah, but to Championship.
Do you know where yet?
No, we have to decide that today. I know approximately, so I wouldn't like to make a wrong announcement. It's between 2 clubs, and I want to give him some competition, like because he didn't play at West Brom, like I did with Francis Coquelin last year, and if possible, call him back after.